Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Alex and DJ Watch It Doc. I'm DJ, that's Alex, and he's as usual at home in his beautiful home there in Los Angeles. I am on the road currently in Las Vegas. I'm on the 24th floor looking at a pretty nice view of Vegas. I'll put a little picture up, but unfortunately, due to the way lighting works, you got to look at this wall the whole time, but enjoy. That's a Las Vegas wall you're looking at right there. Alex, what did we watch this week?
Oh, yeah. We watched Edible Insects. Not exactly a documentary film, but it was on PBS Nova, and I thought it was kind of cool looking. I was kind of curious, so we watched it. And also, it's shorter, so
53 minutes
for both you and our audience.
And when I saw that time, I did breathe a sigh of relief. Like, I'm enjoying watching these documentaries, but it was like, okay, great. Like, I can plow through this one.
It's an easy assignment.
Easy assignment indeed. And this week we're going to try something a little different. We're going to add some structure, I guess you could say. We're going to ask each other basically 10 questions, and we'll have a minute to talk about each of them. Let's just skip the introduction and get right into it. Can I ask you my first question, Alex?
Yeah, you're going to ask me a question? Sure, go for it.
Okay, the question is, and this is all about edible insects, of course, and the documentary is about edible insects and, you know, how they're becoming more popular maybe in North America. But the top 5, they've always been popular around the equator and everything. Anyway, top 5 bugs that people eat currently are cicadas and water bugs at number 5, grasshopper, locust, and crickets at number 4, ants, bees, and wasps at number 3, butterflies and moths in the caterpillar state at number 2, and the number 1 most eaten insect is the beetle, especially their juicy larvae.
I'll tell you, the beetles have always been very popular.
I want to know, which one would you eat? Which would be your... I mean, I'm assuming you don't eat insects right now. If you were to switch over, what would you eat?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, crickets are popular. People love the crickets. They're turning them into powder. Apparently, they're crunchy. They got a umami, maybe. I don't know. Something's going on there. I can't remember what, actually, certain things had different flavors. Actually, I do remember, I did write down what the flavors were. Like, grasshoppers are like shrimp. Crickets are like a chip, like a potato chip. I think I might want to go with the potato chips. Mealworms with garlic butter are good, which means that you're just eating it like shrimp.
Yeah, exactly. But that sounded delicious. And they said...
It did.
The
cicadas.
Cicada sound. They got that crunch, it sounds like.
Yeah, and also they only come around so often.
Every 17 years, brood X.
Well, that one in particular, that was a...
I'd go with the ants or bees and wasps because they said the venomous one can give their taste a citrus twist, and that sounds appealing to me. I like citrus.
Yeah, that's... can you imagine? Eating something and going like, is that lemon? Nah, it's venom. It's wasp venom. Well, I would have liked to have been told beforehand.
What do you got?
Oh, yeah, it's my turn now? I didn't know that's how we work. Well, let me ask you this. Do bugs feel pain, right, if we're talking about them for food?
Did you read the article? Like, when I looked that very question up, there was the top article that came up that said they did. There was a study 15 years ago that said that they not only feel pain, but they also feel acute pain, which is the kind that can persist in nerves. And there's 2 types that the scientists say. So reading that article made me go, God damn it. Because, you know what I mean? Well, they used to say fish didn't feel pain, and now they're saying they do. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say all the sentient creatures of this beautiful earth feel pain. That doesn't necessarily mean we shouldn't eat them, but we should be aware that it's not like some completely merciless act.
Yeah, I guess.
Merciful.
Right, it is a merciful act to eat bugs rather than other animals. I guess, but do we even know? What does it mean to feel pain? Apparently, they feel pain. I read another article that said they feel pain, but they don't feel emotion, so they don't suffer. I don't even know what that means. But, what does that mean? You don't suffer. Well, this is painful, but luckily I'm not suffering. How does that even make sense?
I think it's safer to assume they do feel pain because it just seems so mean. Like, if you were to just pass away, which you're not going to anytime soon, knock on wood, and after you died, everyone's like, that's horrible. What happened to Alex? And I'm like, don't worry, guys. Alex didn't feel pain. It's like, who am I to say that? Like, I know we know
Yeah.
more about humans and cicadas, for example, but like, they're living. There's got to be some evolutionary reason that they would have felt pain. No, I'm not a scientist, but it seems.
I've heard it back and forth. I've seen back and forth on this. I have to say, I did look at a couple articles. Science Daily says that insects feel persistent pain after injury.
All right, Alex, my question for you is, to answer that, to wrap it up, I'm going to say they do feel pain, but maybe less. I don't know. That still seemed like I'm not being completely kind to the insect kingdom, but I think they're tougher than us. I'll give them that. Our ancestor, the Australopithecus, however you say it, the caveman from...
Australopithecus.
Oh, wow, Australopithecus.
Australopithecus.
Australopithecus. Thank you, Alex. They lived 5 million to 2 million years ago, and they had a brain expansion of 20% during that time. And our brains run on fat, so they think that the possible explanation for that 20% growth during that period of our brains was eating of termites, because termites have a lot of fat. But then there's also been a theory that we've talked about before about the mushrooms that they ate, and that expanded their brains. These cave people, can you say cavemen anymore? The Australopithecus. So let me ask you this. What do you think is more likely in your mind? Do you think that our brains grew 20% because of eating more termites or eating magic mushrooms?
I don't understand why that can't be both, huh? When you eat magic mushrooms, once you're done eating them, you might get a little hungry. What are you going to eat?
Termites, baby.
Yeah, you better believe it. I mean, I'm no. If I was among the Australopithecus, I would. I would definitely. I would probably make a like a mushroom cricket bolognese, which is available. I think you can get that actually, like a bug bolognese.
That sounds delicious.
Doesn't it?
It does.
I think
really.
if you grind something up, nobody cares. You grind it up, put it in sauce, we're good.
True.
Kind of feel that way.
No, you're right. When they ground the bugs into powder in this movie, I was like, oh, that seems good. I'll put that in a
Doesn't
smoothie.
even have to be a powder, just like ground, like a meat sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I really do hope they don't feel pain if we're going to be talking about them like meat sauce, because I personally wouldn't appreciate it. I have emotions.
Just like bugs.
Would you eat a bug if it was fed on food waste?
Organic food waste, absolutely. That was really cool how they showed that. The fact that, but then I watched this other YouTube video that was done on a channel called Verge, and it was also about edible insects and the burgeoning industry. And one woman who didn't own her own farm, cricket farm, but was still involved at a certain point in the process, said she would wake up with nightmares of like, where did these crickets come from? What were they feeding them? Because at one point she got crickets that were being fed fish grounds, and the cricket tasted like fish because of that. So it's very important what you're feeding them. So to answer your question, yeah, organic waste, that's exactly what I'd want them eating.
Yeah, or CBD too. They're feeding them CBD to see if it would pass through. What a funny thing, huh? You're like, I'm taking edibles. Well, I'm taking them through cricket. I like saying cricket, by the way. It's the best word of all the bugs. Cricket is fun to say. And it's cute. That's the thing. It's it's one, this is the thing is, I'll get to this later. But some bugs are more fun than others, I think.
It's true.
Isn't that funny how that is? They're all bugs.
Yeah. Think of how chill those crickets would be, though, giving them CBD, just letting it pass through their system.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cicadas would come up every 17 years. I think they might take 22 years, 23 years. What is time, man?
Hey, yeah. So like, it depends if it's indica that you get them. Syndica. Cicadendica. I love mixing up words.
Indica, more like in the mycelium, am I right?
Yo, well, look at you're back on the mycelium, huh? I love a mycelium.
Have you heard that before? Indica will put you in the couch.
I got that one.
I was trying to play on that. It was a reach.
Okay,
Question for you, Alex.
Yeah, what do you got?
Disgust, the look that they describe, like when you're disgusted by something, is originally about food because nausea is a good rejection sensation that gets us to stop eating. That's what they said. Is that 100% sound science? You're more of a science guy than me. I would have figured disgust reaches beyond just food, but is that completely the only reason that our faces would show disgust? Or am I There's got to be other reasons in life that disgust would help you.
Well, I think that the ways by which we measure food is going to be through the nose and mouth, right? The smell of it, the taste of it. So the idea of the lip curling up to almost like block the nose so you don't smell it, or the fact that you're gagging because you're trying to get whatever that is out of you, that would make sense. So I think it's the idea that don't get that near me, I don't want to eat that. If it smells bad, if it looks bad, I don't want to eat it. I'm going to try to keep it out of my body. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even smelling, not necessarily eating. I just want to keep it. I don't want to ingest this in any form.
Yeah, that's what I'd think. I'd think that it's, yeah.
It's a weird, disgust is a weird one to try to do when you're not actually disgusted. And I'm like, I don't think that's actually what I do with my face.
I know what I do. I know I do that. I know that's what I do.
Would you do that if you had bugs in front of you to eat? Would you be able to freely eat a bug? Or?
No, I would do that. The shiver, I don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that? Why? It's a weird one, isn't it? Like, what is that? That's if you're asking a scientist, the mouth and the nose I get, but why is my whole body quivering and shivering?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well. That's 2 I don't knows. Let's mark that down for the Alex and DJ Watch a Doc scoreboard.
What do you got?
Why aren't insects kosher? That's what I'm wondering.
Why are they kosher or aren't?
Why are they not? They're not kosher.
They're not?
No. I mean, I sort of know why.
Kosher means
I'm just phrasing it as a question.
It has to be blessed by a rabbi. That makes it kosher.
No. Kosher. Okay, so this is a good way to kind of like get into it a bit. But kosher, the kosher laws are like you can't have like milk and meat. Everybody kind of may know that, or bacon. Like pork products and shrimp and things that eat off the bottom of the ocean and cloven hoof animals. I don't know honestly, I don't really know. Some of them have to do with like health. Like it makes sense that okay, well you don't want to eat like seafood because that stuff, it's like if it's not properly refrigerated, it could have hurt us back then. But and also it's this idea that it's supposed to be bad for your health, but also your spiritual health. Yeah, and so that's the part that I'm like, oh, okay. So bugs, I guess, because bugs are associated with like decay and dying, and so you don't want to eat something that might be close to something that could be dying.
But so they were saying that that's how we view it in North America because our North European ancestors came over and they were living in colder places, whereas closer to the equator, bugs weren't viewed in this way. They weren't associated with decay necessarily. But your people would have come from closer to the equator, no? Wouldn't bugs have been more accepted? Like somebody would have had to make the decision at some point that they weren't kosher, right?
Well, we're a desert people, and I think it's a different scenario than like the Amazon basin or something like that, where there's a lot more diversity there. I don't know what the kind of diversity situation is in the heat of the desert, but
food scarcity though.
Yeah,
in the desert,
you kind of eat what you. But you know what? Apparently, only in the Bible is written there's certain species of locusts.
Really?
Only certain. But because they don't know which ones really, the rabbis say, just don't eat any locusts, okay?
So did you know this inherently, or did you look up whether or not bugs were kosher?
I looked up a little bit. I knew that insects weren't kosher, but I was wondering, are they none of them kosher? And then I found out there's a few of them are kosher, but just don't eat them. Also, apparently they're not kosher if they run along the land or in the sky or they're flying or whatever. But if they're like in food, like there's some worms sometimes in fish, it's okay to eat those if it's in an animal or something like that. Okay. I went down a rabbinical rabbit hole.
All right, Alex, if you only came back from the ground every 17 years like a cicada, what would you do?
Oh my God. Let me reset the clock for that one. First of all,
you got a day. You come back after 17 years. You got one day.
I think it's a pretty obvious out of prison situation. First, you're going to be going down. You're going to be going down looking for some cicada honeys.
Yeah, brood X, more like breed X. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Yeah,
so that would be.
Do they only have a day?
What's that?
Do they only have a day?
What do you mean?
You said like you only have one day. What are you going to do?
Oh, I actually don't know how long they have. I think a day might be an overestimate. I think they probably don't even, or maybe they have more. I don't know how long. I think I've heard cicadas
they
die.
can live their life. I think they've done their time, and they can live whatever life they want. They go through a cicada halfway house, they get themselves settled in, and they can do whatever they want. I mean, I don't know who's going to hire them after 17 years out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
and you don't know what the recidivism rate is, how many are going back into the ground, because you're like, I don't even like it up here.
I can't work. I can't function out here.
Oh, my God. Look at us laughing about a hugely problematic problem with society.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah.
Problematic
cicadas,
problem.
yeah.
Look at me using adjectives and the actual thing they're describing using the same word.
You got learned well. You did.
You know, I said recidivism. I was pretty proud of myself, and then it was all downhill from there. And I wasn't even listening to you. I was trying to remember the word recidivism for 20 seconds before.
You were just lingering on that word. I heard the word. I went, I hope he's got a follow-up to that word to tell me what that word means.
All right, what do you got? So you're just having sex. Are you doing anything else, or is that your main focus when you come up?
You doing anything else with your life? You gave me a day.
I agree with you, though. That's got to be priority number one.
Yeah.
Food, too, I guess.
What else are you going to do? Yeah, food. I get you eat and you have sex. What else are you going to do? You have a day. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Get a nice meal. Settle down with a nice, lady or, whatever your choice is. And I don't know how cicadas roll, but yeah. Do you think, this is like a rhetorical question. You think there'll be enough of them for us to eat, though? Every one of us, there's over 1 billion of them.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to factory farm them, too. Like, we're going to get some perfect-ass bugs. We're getting it down to a science, obviously. So there's enough of them, believe me, and they're not going to be happy if we get what we want.
Yeah, I would say that historically, you do not want to be human food.
No.
Because we are going to go through you. I love that one. What was it? The one guy said about the cicadas that their defense mechanism. You know about this one? Do you remember this one?
No.
I thought that was pretty funny. Defense mechanism is I wrote it down. I can't remember where I put it. It was that there's so many of them that satiation.
Oh yeah.
That there's that there's like you might be able to kill me and my friend, but how many of us can you eat?
Yeah, you're gonna stuff your stomach with all them, and then a few of us are gonna live, and you're gonna be too full to do anything about it.
Very pacifist. Very. Passive, they won't go to war. They'll just get eaten.
Yeah, it's a war of attrition.
Yes, exactly.
Respect.
The war of nutrition, if I may.
That's good. That's the good stuff right there. This is why we do it, baby. All right, my question for you is... there's a black soldier fly that they mentioned, and they will eat almost anything, any type of food waste, the gut of the larvae. By the way, I didn't know it said larvae. I've been saying larvae my whole life. Big idiot. But they said larvae. Like larva or larvae, I thought, but it's larva or larvae. Plural larva.
I don't think I even caught that.
Yeah.
I would have probably gone larvae.
Yeah, okay, well, good to know. But they said the gut of the larvae is filled with powerful enzymes, the larvae of the black soldier fly, and they'll decompose decaying organic waste. So here's my question. Black soldier fly, isn't that a great superhero name? Make a superhero that'll just eat anything, just subsume things, and they're just gone, and it doesn't matter, like buildings, any organic waste. I just think there's a intellectual property and IP opportunity here to try to trademark black soldier fly.
As long as you don't body shame the fly for eating anything.
No, that's the thing. We celebrate it. We say, go on, black soldier fly, eat everything.
Right. So is it like a Black Panther kind of thing? I mean, is this going to be a cultural thing?
That's how you describe Black Panther? A cultural thing? I haven't thought of the plot. I don't know if we need to necessarily go down that road. We could keep it nice and light.
But you say black soldier. I mean, already I'm starting to think of Black Panther. I can't help it.
You're right. Yes, you're right. Black soldier fly does inherently. We got to work through it. I mean, maybe that's what makes it powerful. And who knows?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't want to poo-poo your idea in its infancy, but I just want to also make sure that
I understand the ramifications of the road I'm going down.
yeah, people are gonna have to take issue. They always do. That's all they do. You can't do anything anymore. You can't create anything anymore.
All the best art makes people feel something. So yeah, Black Soldier Fly, it's going to touch on all the hot button issues, Alex.
I love the Black Soldier. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that he's going to eat all our waste and feed us.
He's going to eat all the statues of all the colonial figures throughout America and the world. Yeah, and use that energy to propagate social change and awareness. No violence.
No, okay. All right. You're making it cultural, though.
All right, what else you got? I didn't intend to go down that road, but I like that you took it there. Thanks. I think.
But here's something. Who in literature was known for eating bugs?
That's easy. Timon and Pumbaa.
Huh? No, a human.
Oh, okay. That wasn't literature either, but no. I'm sure The Lion King came in a book.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, yeah, that's true, actually. It's Lion King. It's not Rudyard
Did
Kipling's
Huckleberry Finn eat
Jungle
bugs?
Book or anything. No. Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure. What's the answer?
Is Renfield from Dracula. The guy that in the insane asylum who helped out Dracula.
Yeah,
okay. He would eat flies, and the whole idea is that he would eat different bug, and then he'd graduate to other animals. I guess he ate them raw. I don't know, but he was this idea of if you start small, sin can grow. That was apparently the literary symbolic nature of eating bugs. But little did he know if it was a black soldier fly, he'd be. He said it was nutritious. I heard this clip. It was actually on the Nova podcast. I was listening. They played the clip from Dracula where he says something about how it gives its life that gives me life or some crap like that. So, yeah.
The amount of nutrition that they can actually provide and just how efficiently they can do it, because they said they're ectothermic instead of endothermic, so all their energy is going toward building protein, not keeping warm. That makes total sense to my non-scientific brain. Like, so efficient, takes way less water, way less feed.
Yeah.
So, sorry?
The LED bulbs of protein production.
The what bomb?
LED bulbs.
Oh, LED bulbs. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to end the episode with our
Tandem Random.
We each have something slightly related. I'll go first, Alex. I was watching a video, the one I told you about, that was by Verge. So it was a Verge Science, and it was called Why Companies Are Mass Producing Edible Insects. And the comments on it made me laugh. Like literally every comment I looked at, which is rare on a YouTube video. So just as a tandem random, I want to read you a few of the comments not from edible insects that we watched, but a separate related video. And here are the comments. The first one is from Gregorio Possible, and he said, "Everything is fun until Monsanto starts growing cow-sized crickets." And
I don't know, but by the way, I have to disagree with his first statement. Everything isn't fun.
Exactly, yeah. Sure, it's efficient, but is it humane? Asked the insect cruelty activist from the future. Health inspector, I found a few crickets in your refrigerator. I'm shutting you down. Chef, of course you found it. Those are our main ingredients. And the final one, Disney is totally missing out on marketing Timon and Pumbaa bug and grub snacks.
Are these the ones that are most highly upvoted?
Yeah, they got like 1,000 or 2,000 votes, or likes on YouTube. But I agree, just with how the corporations sink their greedy claws into things. Like if insect food does end up becoming popular, much like Mohammed, the Canadian guy who works in Austin at Aspire in edible insects, the way he thinks the industry is going to actually take off, it won't be long before the Disneys of the world start figuring out how to... Timon and Pumbaa is a beautiful crossover marketing strategy to get kids to eat bugs.
That's a happy meal right there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a happy meal, yeah. But I mean, once they take over, once a big corporation, you think an oil spill is bad. I'll tell you, a cricket spill, oh no, everywhere, crickets.
Locusts?
It could be other bugs, but I love crickets.
Isn't this what was foretold in Revelation? Maybe that's what we're heading toward.
Locusts. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the end of the world.
Good. I like this. This is right in my wheelhouse. Yes, when technology meets the Bible.
The Alex Nussbaum story.
It is a very good point, though. I mean, yeah, those bugs, they're gonna be everywhere. What happens if there are bugs everywhere? I guess I'll be all right. I don't mind that.
I mean, I don't know if you get over the disgust element, but there are some bugs that can hurt you. That's for sure.
Yeah, but who knows? The things that they hurt us with could be delicious. That venom.
Citrus.
Yeah. What about mosquitoes? I wonder if you get enough of those. I wonder how their itchy venom is or do you get does it get itchy all the way down your throat?
I don't know, because they mentioned that a lot of the bugs, just because of how they're made up physiologically, can't hurt us. Like, they can't pass disease on to us, but I feel like mosquitoes don't fall under that. I feel like...
Yeah, malaria, I think is what that's called.
But you can't get malaria from eating a mosquito, can you?
No,
maybe you could. So. Maybe if it was in the blood.
I don't know. I swallowed a mosquito. Yeah, that kind of thing. I got malaria.
And you go in with a net. Pull it out.
It's not the mosquito, it's the net that I'm gagging on. I was going to mention, the guy mentioned something about eating locusts, not locusts, but grasshoppers when he was eating grasshoppers. I thought that was kind of a thing. It reminds me of like when I was a kid, I used to play, and this is my sort of I used to like kind of, bugs. It's funny how different bugs, like I say, crickets are kind of cute, right? So you could have a cricket, you have a cockroach right next to it, exact same size, looks basically the same. People grossed up. But cricket, they might put it in their hand. They might, ants. I like pick up ants, have them crawl on me. For some reason, ants not a big deal. I think it's because they're small. They're not juicy looking. They didn't really bother me. I feel like I wonder actually how they would taste, ants.
Oh, they said they're good. They're popular. They were in the top 5. They're number 3. Ants, bees, and wasps are in the same category.
Yeah.
I mean,
somehow ants. For some reason, when I was a kid, I would always find myself. I thought they're kind of fun. Ants didn't bug me. Didn't bug me.
Okay, all right.
Unpleasantly unintentional. But I'm just trying to think of like for example, things with I think long legs are usually what turn me off. Like get me the hell away from a centipede.
Yeah, they give me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, the more
funny?
legs.
Like you could take, the legs. There's something about the legs. So if like centipedes were in a meal, I would not want to eat them. But ants, I'd be I could probably eat some ants. They're very weird.
Yeah, I think larvae, I think, looks the most delicious to me. It looks slug-like and appealing. Like I want it. It's kind of like sashimi. I want to let that slide into my mouth and all the way down.
I don't like that kind of texture. I like crunchy over slithery. Yeah, so that's where you and I differ. Well, you heard it here. He likes slithery and I like crunchy. Well, that ends our episode of Edible Insects down to a fizzle.
Well, okay, that is the end. If you want to end it there, I'm down. But before we go, what are we watching next week?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Can I suggest something?
Yeah, sure.
Let's watch Icarus. Have you heard of Icarus?
I think isn't that I only know the movie.
It's a documentary that came out in 2017. It's about doping in sports.
Oh yeah. Let's watch one of your jock docs.
Well, come on. We talked about bugs. You're the bug guy. I'm the sports guy.
Don't make me the bug guy. I got a little sex appeal.
All right, buddy. So we're watching Icarus next week. And that was Edible Insects.
It was. And this is Alex and DJ Watch a Doc.
And I'm DJ and that's Alex. And that's everything you need to know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Go have yourself a little cricket snack. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.